Welcome to the Workamper Show, brought to you by Workamper.com. This podcast helps you discover how to finance your RV travel dreams. Each one of our episodes will introduce you to people who are already living the RV lifestyle or to work camping opportunities all around the U.S. You'll also learn how to hit the road the right way and make the most of every opportunity. Now let's turn over today's show to your host, Greg Gerber.
In today's episode, we're heading to the beautiful mountain town of Almont, Colorado to speak with the general manager of an RV resort looking for a few work campers yet this year and even more in 2026. This episode is sponsored by Workamper News. If you have more questions and answers when it comes to the work camping and RVing lifestyle, then Workamper News can help. Listen to their free Work Camping Q&A videos to get your questions answered. Each video answers questions submitted by folks just like you who are learning about the RV lifestyle, just getting started, or have been work camping for a while. The videos cover topics like what kind of work camping jobs are out there, what do those jobs pay, tips for writing your work camper resume, questions to ask an employer, what type of RV is best, how to get your mail as an RVer, and much more. Listen to detailed answers now by watching the videos at www.workamper.com/answers. In the description of each video, you'll find a list of questions that were answered so you can quickly jump to the answers you want to hear. Check out the free Work Camping Q&A videos to get your questions answered today. Three Rivers Resort is a scenic and historic family-owned property that offers everything from cozy cabins and whitewater rafting to fly fishing and guided adventures. It is located where the Taylor and East Rivers come together to form the Gunnison River. Jen Bickford, the resort's general manager and a former work camper herself, talks about what makes this destination so special and how work campers can play an essential role in creating memorable experiences for guests. Each summer, the resort grows from a core staff of 11 year-round employees to more than 150 seasonal team members, including 40 to 50 work campers who help bring the resort's many offerings to life. To tell us more about what types of jobs she relies upon work campers to perform and how to apply for one of those jobs, please welcome General Manager Jen Bickford to the show. Thanks for joining me today, Jen. I really appreciate it. Tell us a little bit about Three Rivers Resort and where it's located and what kind of amenities it offers to your guests.
Sure. So Three Rivers Resort is in Almont, Colorado. We are on what would be considered the western slope of Colorado Rocky Mountains. And so we're at an elevation of about 8,000 feet between Gunnison and Crested Butte. Those are our nearest towns. Crested Butte is a ski area town, so it's a real popular tourist destination. And then Gunnison is our larger sort of county seat here, but it's a great location. We're right on the Taylor River, which is one of the best fishing rivers in Colorado. And so we're a mom-and-pop resort since 1983, owned by the Schumachers. They're still very involved every single day. So it's owned and operated by a family, but we're large in that we have about 150 employees in the summer. We have 63 lodging units, mostly cabins. We've got 7 RV sites for guests, a lot more than that for work campers. We keep adding them because we love them. We've got a fly fishing shop. We've got a retail store. We've got a barbecue restaurant. So we've got a lot of different things that are going on, including a bunch of businesses that we don't even hire for, but we have a sewer plant. We're like our own little town here.
I can imagine. Yeah. So is it rather remote? It sounds in that it's not anywhere near a big city, but how close are you to the nearest Walmart?
Yeah. Oh, we do have a Walmart in Gunnison 10 minutes away, but it is, we're told, one of the smallest in the whole network of Walmarts. It's not a super Walmart. The big box stores are going to be an hour west of us in Montrose. We're 4 hours southwest of Denver. The nearest place with a shopping mall or anything like that would be Grand Junction. That's going to be closer to 2.5, 3 hours from us. So we are a mountain kind of resort community or remote community, and that's what people love about where we are. So many wonderful, we have more public lands than anything else.
Oh, that sounds like a fun and beautiful place to spend a summer. Yes. You said that you hire 150 employees. Are they all work campers?
They're not. But it seems like anymore, the majority. So we're housing a lot of people here anymore. We go from just 11 year-round employees to about 150 in the summer. So it's a huge ramp up every year. Of course, we have returners, and we're always happy about that. This year, I'm just looking at my notes here, but we have 40 work campers that are in RV sites. And then we have an additional 6 or so that are in housing, because we do get some of those inquiries from workers who don't have RVs. They're maybe thinking about getting into the lifestyle, but they ask if we have housing, and we do have a lot of housing on site. So we're also housing a lot of additional employees as well, in addition to just people who come with their RVs.
That's awesome. I don't often get to interview people who have housing available to work campers and I think that's great for people who would like to try out the lifestyle but may not have a big RV to haul with them. Is this dormitory style housing, or is it
Actually, we own a mobile home park, which is also here on site. And it used to be people who would use them as summer cottages. They would come from hotter areas. As they've gotten older, retired, gone away, and sold those, we keep buying them because housing is really difficult in our area, as in a lot of areas. And so we wouldn't even open some of our parts of our business anymore without having housing. So we keep buying those mobile homes if people are selling them, and then we're just taking them on, refurbishing them. They're nice. It's a nice park. I live up there. A bunch of our managers live up there. We have about 30 mobile homes here on site, and we rent out a lot of them now to employees. And we charge very little. It's about half the going rate in our community for a room, and it's wonderful for them. They can just walk to work. And so we just shared housing. Occasionally we'll get a solo, and we have a couple that only fit one person, or we might get couples. I'm actually talking to a couple today who are work campers, and they have an RV, but they asked about what's the housing situation, because they might not want to haul it across from Indiana to Colorado. Sometimes people will take that opportunity as well.
What is the housing cost to rent one of these? Or do you provide free RV sites to the work campers?
We do, yeah. If they make a commitment to us and they bring their RV, which we know that's an expense to them and that's their home, we don't charge for the RV site.
Okay.
So it's a full hookup RV site. We don't have a separate bathhouse, so they do have to have bathrooms. I will say, though, there's a little caveat to that. We do have one bathroom that is shared. And I keep making more and more exceptions to people using that, but they don't mind sharing. I actually have 5 people sharing a bathroom this year, because what we're getting now is more people living in vans who don't have bathrooms.
Okay.
So we are discussing maybe we'll try to open up another bathroom facility, because more and more people are doing van life too. But yeah, so we have that for the rent. That was your question. For the housing, for shared housing, it's $450 per month. That's a flat rate. That's per person. And again, they might be shared in 2 or 3 bedrooms. So we'll put 2 or 3 people together. Always put the same genders, of course, together. $450 is about half the going rate in our area for rent. And we don't charge any utilities on top of it. It's just
Are these seasonal or full-time year-round positions?
They're seasonal.
Okay.
Yeah. We have a huge number of seasonal people. The nice thing, though, is we get this a lot, probably more for the younger work campers, I would say, but they come to the area. They just love it here. They want to stay for a winter. So even people who come in their RVs will say, you know what, I'd like to try to stay for a winter. They'll then rent one of our, whether it's a mobile home or one of our guest cabins, which we turn some of those into long-term housing for the winter. And they'll stay for a winter, get out of their RV, because it's too cold here for RVs. They'll get out of their RV, go into one of our housing units, and just pay a market rate for the winter when we're not needing employee housing. And then they might come back, we hope, the next summer, and then go back into their RV or go back into our housing at the employee rate.
Okay.
So it's nice. They have that option if they want to try a year-round thing and see what winters.
When does the season typically start for you, and when does it end?
It depends on positions. I'd say the bulk of our positions are going to be around mid-May, and we will take some people in around mid-April for spring cleaning. So if people are interested in getting into some of the housekeeping is the longest position. So they could come mid-April, they could stay through October. It'll be a little more part-time-ish in those early and late parts of the season, but that's going to be the longest. Housekeeping also probably pays the highest hourly rate. And then the restaurant doesn't open up until the end of May, around Memorial Weekend. We're getting ready to open this weekend. So those folks usually get in around mid-May, start onboarding, getting settled in and stuff. And then all of our other stuff that has to do with lodging, maintenance, retail, all that stuff. Mid-May is good. If we can keep people through September, that's fantastic for most positions. The restaurant stays open usually for that first week of October. We'll try to keep people as long as we can. We used to say, oh, if you can just stay through Labor Day, but it's so busy anymore. We love to have people stay a little bit longer. A lot of folks do the beet harvest, and so if they're out of here mid-September, we can deal with that as long as they can stay.
Okay, that sounds very convenient and very accommodating to their schedules. You had mentioned that there are a variety of jobs that are available. What are some of them again?
Oh, gosh. I think the beauty is for the Workamper, and if they can combine a lot of jobs, some people just love that, where they can do a lot of different things throughout their work week. But our biggest needs, of course, like everybody, always housekeepers, cooks in the restaurant or kitchen, I should say, cooks and dishwashers, prep cooks, all that stuff. We have a barbecue restaurant, very busy. It's an outdoor patio. We've even hired managers before. So right now we have a new manager in our restaurant for the season. She's a seasoned Workamper, and so are most of the staff in there. It's amazing. Most all of our staff in there are Workampers who have worked in. They do the Arizona thing in the winter and then come up here in the summer when it gets hot. We've got servers, bartenders, front desk reservations, checking guests in, which is also combined with our retail shop up here. So they're stocking inventory. We have gifts and T-shirts. We have a large shop. And then we've got a fly fishing shop, which is in the same building, but it's a separate kind of business. So a fly fishing shop we have a fly fishing guide service. We have a raft guiding service. So outfitting is our other big piece. We put about 10,000 people on the river every summer with raft trips. We've even had Workampers go through our raft guide course and do raft guiding on the side in addition to. We probably wouldn't house someone as a Workamper and commit a whole site if they're just being a raft guide. And I don't want to diminish that job, but lots of people want to be raft guides. So if they're also filling some other positions, for example, we just had a Workamper couple come in. The man is going through the raft guide course, but he's going to also do some evenings in the kitchen. We love that kind of combo. That's great. I've got a Workamper in the accounting office. We've got really skilled Workampers. You've been lucky in the last couple of years to get some good vehicle mechanics. We have over 50 vehicles and trailers with our operation. So when we can get a really skilled mechanic, boy, does that really help us out a lot. So we have shuttle drivers, we have photographers for the raft trip. So it's just a huge variety of jobs. I've had Workampers in the past, and one in particular in my mind, he was just so gung-ho to do everything and anything. And he would work these are actually separate corporations for us. So he'd get 3 different paychecks. He'd work in the resort with lodging. He'd do maintenance. And then he would go do some stuff with outfitting, like shuttle driving and help with the van detail, cleaning those out. And then he'd go in the restaurant and wash dishes in the evening. He just wanted to work. He didn't even care if he had days. Okay, if you want to do all that, and we can accommodate if people want to work.
Are you cross-training the Workampers to do all these jobs, or are you putting them into specific jobs that they do the entire season?
We will cross-train, absolutely. If they have specific skills, like they're a mechanic, great, we'll probably hire them for that. But a lot of times, because I hire early anymore, it used to be I would just start hiring in February, but now it's a year-round job to hire for the next summer, and people are looking early. So when I hire early, I don't always know exactly how many jobs we're going to have available because we have to wait right now in this season to see who's going to return. So I will ask people if they're open for multiple positions that we'll talk about. And if they are, I'll just say, could you just be flexible? And then as we get closer and place people, we'll let you know what that's going to look like. And many people are.
You had mentioned mechanics and auto mechanics. Do people do RV maintenance there for you as well?
No, we don't really have anything that needs that. With so many Workampers on site, though, who have RVs, there are usually very skilled people who can lend a hand, or they all share information. And the vehicle mechanics, they usually know all about that. Many of the vehicle mechanics we've had have been work campers themselves. They can fix anything.
Are these paid positions?
We pay all hours. We don't charge for site. We don't charge hours for site or anything like that.
How much do you start at?
It depends on the job. So I will just say that we are well above minimum wage, and I'm just looking at my little cheat sheet. The minimum wage in Colorado this year is $14.81, and we're starting work campers anywhere from $16 to $18 an hour, depending on the job. And some of these, like housekeepers, sometimes the cooks, certainly the servers, the server wage is a little less because it's a tipped amount. They make more than I do. I think they make $11.79 plus tips. They probably average around $30.
Wow.
Yeah, or more, sometimes 40. But we are always open to, and I tell everybody this, we're always open to looking at your performance during the season and giving you a raise in the season. It's a short season, but we want to reward people who are doing a really good job. We want to give incentives for people to return. We have done things like pay some gas money for them to return next year, because we know sometimes they're coming across the country. It's expensive to drive an RV across the country. So we'll offer some of those incentives for our real valued people we want back. We do a season end bonus for many people who did a great job and stayed through their commitment. And that would be at least $1 an hour for all the hours worked, sometimes more. So it's very subjective. We're not corporate, which is really nice. We make those subjective decisions, but we really want to reward people and hopefully give an incentive to come back.
That's awesome. What a great opportunity for people, I would imagine.
Everyone's been pretty happy, I think, with our compensation package.
Are there any special traits or qualifications you're looking for in work campers?
We just want people who are open, flexible, and work hard and play hard. We're a family resort, so one thing that I always look for is people who are going to be a good fit with a family resort. Obviously, people who would be appropriate, most adults are, but yeah, you'd be surprised. So people who are going to represent us well in the community. It's a small community, and so I always give that speech to new employees as everybody knows the Schumachers here in town. I've been around for 21 years at this resort a lot, and I've been very involved with local boards and volunteering. People know us, and we have a great reputation. So we just want people who will be a good fit with that. And then on top of that, we've got so many repeat guests. People have come here as kids, and now they're bringing their kids and grandkids, and some multi-generational guests. And we just want to still maintain that really friendly, personalized service. People who are, I always say, just people who are good people.
That's a great way to describe it. And you are a former work camper yourself, I understand.
Yes. Yeah. I came to this area as a work camper in 2002. I saw the ad in Workamper magazine, wanted to get out to Colorado, and I worked just up the road at a different resort, and it was just so fun. And then I had remembered seeing this resort just driving past, and I called them and said, I had no idea what they did. I said, "Do you hire for the summer?" Oh my gosh. I had no idea. They hire a lot of people. And so they didn't know anything about work camping, but they had a space for my RV. They gave us a space and gave me a summer job. And then after that first summer in 2004, the owner, Mark Schumacher, said, "I'd like you to come on board and be the general manager." And so when I started hiring people then for the resort, I said, there's this great program called Workamper, and he hadn't heard of it. So I started hiring work campers right off the bat. At that time, though, we only had about 4 sites for work campers, for RV sites. And here we are now, all these years later, we keep adding more sites, adding more housing. And yeah, what did I say? We have 40 in RVs this year. So
that's incredible. Yeah, what an operation. It sounds like you get a lot of guests coming. Are they staying like a week at a time, or are they spending the entire summer up there?
No, it's short term. I'd say the average stay, it's pretty short, probably about 3 nights, but we will have people come week at a time. Yeah, just all over the place. It's fairly pricey for the cabin. We have 17 different styles. Some of them are a little bit more rustic, but a lot of them are real nice on the river with private hot tubs. And you're getting into lodging that's around $300 to $400 a night. But we host a lot of weddings and family reunion, big groups, fishing groups. four-wheeling groups. So we have a lot of that kind of business every summer.
Excellent. What about internet connections and cell phone service in that area? What is that like?
Internet connection? We have Wi-Fi here at the resort. Not all of the work camper sites, because we've been expanding up to, let's say, like our upper part of our property has that Wi-Fi reach. So I do tell people in advance, and if it's a problem, because sometimes their spouse might be working from the RV and they're not working for us. Anymore, what I'm finding is work campers are traveling with their own internet service, whether it's a hotspot, which Verizon, AT&T work fairly well here with their own hotspot, or with Starlink. If they really need to be more in reach of our main resort area, then we can try to accommodate with something a little closer to the building.
What's involved in the hiring and interviewing process?
I'll get the applications, I review them, and the people that I think might be a good fit, I'll schedule a Zoom interview generally. So what a great thing Zoom is. Like what we're doing here, back in the old days, it was either talk to them on the phone pretty much, and then all of a sudden we had Skype, and then I thought that was amazing, so I would Skype, but not everybody could do that because internet wasn't always available. And that was a problem. Anymore, people are just, I think probably since the pandemic too, people are really used to doing Zoom and stuff. Zoom has been great. It just makes such a difference when you can actually see somebody kind of face to face. So we do Zoom interviews, and then I will, if we're both mutually interested in each other, I will ask for some references and give a call to some references. And then I will send them a written work agreement and has all the specifics of all the things we talked about so that we're on the same page.
That sounds easy. How quickly do you make a hiring decision?
As soon as I can get a hold of references, I'll shoot over a work agreement.
Okay, so it's not...
It'd be pretty quick. Sometimes you're playing phone tag with the references. I always ask if they have emails, that's great, because then people can do that on their own time, and I can too. But otherwise, it's just how quickly can we get the references. But I would say I get the hiring done within a week.
Okay. Are you hiring for 2025 yet, or are you looking for 2026 and beyond?
We invariably have a few positions where either people didn't show up or maybe people went a different direction already. We're probably pretty close, but I could probably always use someone in our kitchen as cooks, dishwashers, anybody open to working in the back of the house in a restaurant, potentially with some combination of front desk. I still have a few front desk shifts open. I'm not generally worried about those because all of us managers are around too and we can fill in.
Okay. You had mentioned a variety of jobs and you had suggested that you'll provide all the training needed to do them. Are there any special jobs that you're looking for that would require special skills that you'd really like an RVer to consider?
Yeah, every summer we're looking for someone who has some really good accounting skills. We generally only have one person who helps. Kim is our office manager, and she's got a huge job. I mentioned that we have 3 separate companies that we hire employees for, but in total, we actually have 10 separate corporations. So she's got a big job. And in the summer, with our payroll being up over 100 people and onboarding all these people in a short period of time, we love to have someone who's got maybe some bookkeeping skills, who's very detail-oriented, can use spreadsheets, all that kind of stuff. I'd say accounting would be one. And that person, the past couple of years, has been combining with also doing some serving work in the restaurant because they don't want to just sit in an office in front of a computer screen all day. And that works for us because it's not probably a full-time job. So it's great that they can mix it either with front desk or any other job. And then, like I said, the vehicle mechanic is always great. That's a very skilled position. We also love to have skilled people in maintenance who are just general handymen, I would say, or handy women. We've had some really good people in the past who we tend to find people who've worked in property management or someone who managed maybe the maintenance in an apartment building. All the things that can come up with any dwelling, that's what comes up all summer long. Small appliance. We're not asking you to be a professional electrician. If you are, great, but all the small things that could come up, from fixing screen doors to troubleshooting a toilet problem or whatever it is. Carpentry skills, that's great.
What can a Workamper do to really stand out if they'd absolutely like to work for Three Rivers Resort?
I always love to interact with the people who you can tell that they're very friendly, outgoing, would be a great fit in this environment. We like to work hard. We have high expectations, but we also like to play hard, and we have great sense of humor. So, we really want people who can laugh at themselves, people who can take some feedback and not just be offended. My one thing every summer, and this is mostly my job, I call myself the CDO. I'm the Chief Drama Officer. I really want low drama. And so I do talk about that. Can you work in a team environment, get along with others? We're all living together and working together and playing together. Can you fit into that sort of environment?
Okay, that sounds really good. What draws people to your area? In other words, what kinds of things can they do during their free time?
Goodness, we are so blessed in this area. I, of course, am biased because I've been here 21 years, but I'm from the Midwest. And so being in the mountains is just amazing to me. We are in one of the best locations in Colorado. We're the northeast corner of the southwest quadrant, so center of the state, but we are over the Continental Divide. We're the western slope, they call it. So we have just world-class trails for hiking, biking. Within a 2-hour radius, you can get to some amazing places for camping. If you like to climb mountains, we call it here our 14ers, our 14,000-foot mountains. People like to go to the summit of the 14,000-foot mountains, where supposedly the birthplace of mountain biking here. We have world-class fly fishing, great ATV and Jeep trails. These are just some of the things that people love to do. We have both high desert and high alpine. So we've got a ski area in the winter just up the road in Crested Butte. But we also have where we are and in Gunnison, 10 minutes away. Crested Butte's only 20 minutes. Gunnison is 10 minutes. We're more high desert, so we have the sage, but we're at 8,000 feet. And then in Gunnison, which is just 15 minutes, we have the biggest lake in Colorado, Blue Mesa Reservoir. So people can get out and rent pontoon boats. They can sail. They can stand up paddleboard. There are just so many things to do right where we are.
Are these gentle raft tours that you were talking about before, or are these like real rapids?
They're both. We have, I would say, an intermediate is our most, it's not too turbulent.
Okay.
So I'm going to be one of those that throws you out of the boat generally. The boat can flip over, but it's really beautiful. The Taylor River, we have a section that it's a class 3, very family friendly for ages 12 and up, but people are paddling, getting wet. Then we have the lower portion, which is very gentle, and we'll take kids as young as 2. The guide is rowing you down, and you're just sitting enjoying the ride. And then we do a couple of really fun float and dines in the evening. So we float you down the river, and then you get out at one of our local restaurants called Garlic Mike's and have an Italian dinner, or we bust you back up here to our restaurant, which is a barbecue place, and you have dinner here. And it's a package deal. We call it like a river cruise, Rocky Mountain style. But yeah, so that's fun. And all of our employees get free rafting, not the dinner cruises, but they get free rafting anytime they want to go, anytime there's space available, which is almost every day. They also have use of any of our rental equipment if it's available. Customers, of course, are first, but almost any given day they can get stand-up paddleboards, inflatable kayaks, fishing gear. All of that's a perk for them.
So if they're bored, it's their own fault.
Yeah.
Yes, okay. We had forgot to talk about days off and the number of hours that Workampers typically put in.
Sure. If we're going to commit an RV site, we would prefer to have what we would call full-time work, but that's a subjective definition. I always generally think, especially in the positions we really need people like housekeeping and cooking, if we can get 4 shifts, at least, that's great. That's going to be somewhere in the 30 to 32 hours a week. If we can get you full-time, that's great. And it might be combining hours. Sometimes people really want to have the 40 or more. We don't generally like to go over 40 and pay overtime. But the nice thing I mentioned with the different companies is you can work 40 in different companies and not incur overtime since they're a separate corporate entity. So that's where we've had people do more than 40 by doing different jobs in those companies. So I would say most work campers are probably in that right around 35 to 38 hours per week range. But we make exceptions. We do understand that work campers are here for a reason, to see this part of the country, go out and do things. We always make sure they have 2 days off in a row, as well as if they're couples, make sure it's together. So that's important.
Perfect. You had mentioned that you will hire solos. Would you consider a family, especially a family with teenagers?
Yeah, we've had that too. We're seeing a lot more of that. You've probably heard that. The demographics have changed a lot with work campers since I started doing this. It used to be just retired folks, and now we're getting into younger people and families, and it's the lifestyle thing. Yes, we've had families. Sometimes I mentioned that we'll have couples where one is filling a full-time position, the other is working from home. We do charge a small amount for the site if we have that situation, just because we have more people living there with potential costs, because we don't charge for utilities stuff if they're running their air conditioner because they're inside all day working and that kind of thing. We charge $300 generally per month for that, maybe partner, spouse who's working from home and the other person is working for us. Although sometimes I get those people who are working from the camper and they also want to work for us just part-time. We could take a look at that. But yeah, we have had families as well. Actually, we've had, trying to think, we've had a couple of different families. If they have teenagers who can work, we could put them to work doing some easy jobs if they want to, part-time.
That sounds very flexible. What's one thing you wish all work campers knew before they came to work for you?
Oh, gosh. I think I wish that I can't convey really how busy we get and how concentrated that season is. I've had plenty of work campers when we talk in the interviews say, oh yeah, I worked at a KOA or whatever in the camp store and it gets so busy. When our switch flips in mid-June, they are shocked. It really is so concentrated. And I think that's heightened by the fact that we offer tours as well. So you have just such a rush of people. We might have 150 people standing in the front desk area trying to check in for lodging and raft trips at the same time. So it's just, it gets insane for a couple of months. And we do I think, a really good job of getting them out to see all of the lodging units ahead of time. If they're in reservations, we really ramp up slowly. We want them to be comfortable. We're not going to throw them to the wolves. We have a lot of us here who can help and jump in. But when that happens, I think they're generally pretty shocked at how busy it is.
That's amazing. Where can people get more information about this opportunity and how can they apply?
Yeah, the best spot's going to be on our website, and that is the number 3riversresort.com. And then there's a jobs page you could click on. We have an online application. You can also, I think we have an email on there. You can also just email and inquire. We're happy to just email back or give us a call.
Are you active on social media at all?
Yes, we have Facebook pages. We have Instagram pages. I do advertise on the Workamper groups on Facebook as well. I get a lot of people from there, in addition to our membership with Workamper.
Super. Thank you very much for sharing this opportunity with me, Jen. It sounds like it to be a fun but busy summer for everybody.
Yeah, it is fun. I think people generally enjoy it.
Jen Bickford, the general manager of Three Rivers Resort in Almont, Colorado, explained work camping at the resort is more than just a job. It is an immersive experience in one of Colorado's most picturesque regions. What sets Three Rivers apart is not just the breathtaking location and wide variety of positions, it's also the supportive culture Jen and her team have cultivated over the years. The resort offers free full hookup RV sites for work campers who commit to a full season, and for those without RVs, affordable housing options are available right on site. Whether you're a solo traveler, couple, or even a family with teens, there's a welcoming spot for you at Three Rivers Resort, especially if you have a friendly attitude, enjoy working hard, and love outdoor adventure. Work camping jobs range from housekeeping and front desk to restaurant staff, fly fishing support, raft guiding, maintenance, and even accounting or vehicle repair. Jen encourages applicants to be flexible. As a result, many roles are cross-trained or blended depending upon Workamper interests and skills. Wages typically start between $16 and $18 per hour, with tipped roles, like restaurant servers, earning up to $30 or $40 per hour during peak times. Better yet, everyone gets free access to rafting trips and outdoor gear when available. Jen emphasized the importance of being a good team player with low drama and strong work ethic. Things get busy fast in the peak summer months, and the resort counts on Workampers who can keep up and contribute to the positive guest experience. In return, team members enjoy 2 consecutive days off each week, and many Workampers come back to work season after season. To apply or learn more, visit www.threeriversresort.com and click on Jobs link at the bottom of the homepage. There you'll find a list of current openings, an online application, and answers to frequently asked questions. So if you're looking for a Workamping job where you can be part of a close-knit team, enjoy some spectacular surroundings, and help create memorable experiences for guests of all ages, then Three River Resort might just be your next great adventure. Today's episode was sponsored by Workamper News. Much more than just a job listing website. When you put the tools of this professional service into action, you'll find out just how easy it can be to turn your Workamping dreams into reality. A Workamper membership opens the door to a one-stop shop for all things Workamping. Being the original resource for Workamping, you'll find the largest number of job listings, be able to connect with a community of Workampers, and view resources compiled by experts who've been enjoying the RV lifestyle for many years. If you're serious about leading a successful and enjoyable Workamping lifestyle, then membership is for you. Join today at www.workamper.com. Embark on new adventures today with the support of Workamper News behind you. That's all for this week's show. Next time we'll be speaking with a Workamper who's been traveling for 8 years and recalls her most recent experience. I'll have that interview on the next episode of The Workamper Show. Thank you for listening. If you like these interviews, please consider leaving a review wherever you download the episodes.